Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on August 22nd, 2024. And as soon as I turn on the camera, because, these criminals know that I'm going to be recording a video, they're causing it to wobble. Yeah, I'm sure you can see that it's wobbling. And let's see. Let me get a big fat magnet and see what happens. There we go. So I'm holding up a magnet, and hopefully that will prevent it from wobbling as much as it usually does. And let me just get a good photo here for you. This is a little mini art. It's a rooster. Let me see. I don't remember who. Okay, this is it's called Good Morning Sunshine by C. Mikolos Design, the Moon Art from 2021. Okay, so here's a rooster with the sunshine, and I certainly have lots of those critters. So anyway, I've been extremely busy here, and I just want to say for the record, my YouTube channel is not all that I do. Okay, I sometimes do consultations. I'm extremely busy here. I'm trying to sell my property, and I'm experiencing horrific amounts of vandalism every day. Okay? It's every day. But we're not talking about little things. We're talking about huge, expensive things, like they're digging up my property and cutting the roots of trees. And I will do a video on that. I was going to do it today. I had an unexpected visitor that was here for almost 2 hours. Totally threw me off. And then I had the grass cut today. I've got a new baby guinea. My neighbor called me that there's a little black cat that is the mother of the kitten that I have. So, well, guess what? I have another new cat. Looks exactly like the little kitten that I rescued a couple of weeks ago. So I'm very busy here. So forgive me if I don't respond to your emails or your comments right away. I mean, I know that I post on other people's channels, and sometimes they don't get back to me or even like my comment for days. So, I just want to give you a heads up there. So, I want to talk about a couple of other things. I'm going to just say it. I'm not going to mention any names, but I don't appreciate being harassed. I'm going to use that word, harass, in the comments section. If you don't like the fact that I interview with certain people, that's certainly your prerogative, but do not harass me in the comments section. Okay? Oh, that I've gone to the dark side. Oh, I'm an agent, or I'm this, or I'm that. You know what? I interviewed with DJ Chris. I didn't know him, but evidently he knew everything about me. Okay? I figured it all out within, first of all, being placed on hold indefinitely. Not being able to connect. I have experienced that in the past where that can be deliberately done. And then the first person that comments to me is an alleged perp or a Freemason bitch, a witch, or something else. I mean, somebody did contact me privately who said that, I was set up. Well, I don't know how I was set up. Well, set up maybe to have an interview, but I got to say exactly what I wanted to say about the Manalapan Police Department. But I was deeply disturbed by bringing up topics that I had no intention of discussing. It's not that I haven't discussed them before, but I was led to believe that I was going to be talking about my cat rescue and all the things I do here and my farm and my animals, and that's just not what happened. Okay, and then, of course, I saw a lot of people in the chat that didn't even comment. And these are people, half of them are perps, half of them are envious and jealous, and half of them actually align with certain groups that I have no interest in aligning with. And just because I had an interview, guys, I'm just going to tell you, I mean, I don't know of too many people that are in my comment section that have put themselves out there and given interviews to people or even written testimonies or whatever. It's not always pleasant, okay? But I think I handled it well enough. I will not be going back there, and I do not align with any of those groups. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again, and that's it on the topic. Okay, that's it. But I'm also not going to be harassed by anybody telling me what to do or what to not do or who to interview with or who not to interview with. It's none of your business. If you don't like it, that's fine. I don't see your interviews out there anywhere. I mean, somebody can interview with me. Give me your testimony. I'll read it out loud. I've said it many times before, and you know that I'll read out testimonies. And David A has testimonies too. You can actually interview with him. He's a great guy. So anyway, so and along these lines, I just want to say also YouTube, and this was the most bizarre thing. You know, I put out that little video the other day about my guinea eggs, the guinea eggs. It was immediately downvoted, you know, because the powers that be don't want people attracted to my channel who might be interested in things other than, you know, stalking and harassment and stuff. So they completely downvoted it. But some of the people who did comment were saying, oh, you know, how cute, or whatever. Would you believe that YouTube held those comments for review? Somebody wrote cute in the comment section. YouTube held it because it was one word. Somebody else wrote, oh, you know, like, oh, how cute. YouTube held that for review. So I'm just going to tell you that YouTube is holding these one-word comments for review. So it might be a good idea to, you know, leave a couple of words, like an entire sentence or whatever. Just, you know, a little bit of a suggestion. But along those lines, you know, I've been reading, I'm holding up my magnet here, The Hidden Evil by Mark M. Rich, The Financial Elites, Covert War Against the Civilian Population. And I'm going to read in part 2 of the tactics section about support groups. Okay? My opinion is that major support groups are used by the security forces for discrediting, disinformation, and disorganizing. These people who oversee the worldwide program have infiltrated these groups, or even created some in order to disrupt progress. And before I read on, I'm going to say that I absolutely agree with this. Even though I've been targeted for, you know, more than a dozen years, I came into the community in March of 2017. I saw the old TJ, the new TJ. I've seen people come and go. I've seen people pass away. I've seen people, you know, try to protest, have been arrested, Baker acted. But I haven't seen any of those groups, any of them, until last year, do what they said that they were going to do. And one of those things was a class action lawsuit. Never seen it. Never happened. Still hasn't happened. Never happened. My name's not any of those lawsuits or whatever. Yes, you know, in the past, I signed a couple of petitions that were going around because I genuinely thought that those people were here to help. I didn't know what a planned opposition was, or paid agents in the community. I came in like a newbie, like everybody else, you know, seeking support, and then finding out literally within 9 months or so that a couple of people were total frauds, complete frauds, okay? So these support groups seem to be just another phase of the program. The East German Stasi would create political groups and foster an informant's rise to respectability. This influential informant would then impede the group's progress and misdirect events. The logic here is that if these groups must exist, they would rather control them. Okay? So it could be that many of these groups started with good intentions, but then, you know, unfortunately, they're not allowed to do what they're meant to do, and they're controlled by these dark forces. And I'll tell you for a fact that I attempted to start my own group. I don't know. It was, I think it was before the Chief Damon Jones stint. But my first conference call that I created, and I had a lot of people come in, they disconnected me more than 20 times from the call. I finally just gave up. I don't have the time to deal with this nonsense. I really don't. I'm targeted like everybody else. I'm targeted more or less than some people. I see a lot of people out there, you know, going to work and, you know, getting their paycheck and yeah, they've got a little bit of mobbing, But some people are targeted worse than others, okay? And for different reasons. I've said it before. If you own real estate, you're going to get targeted worse than other people. So some of these perpetrators seem to be very vocal and popular members of these support groups. These people may also help with misdirecting events or generally keeping the group disorganized and ineffective under the illusion that progress is being made. And that's exactly what I experienced, both as being on those calls. There were always people calling in to change the subject, disrupt it. Even when I did DJ Chris's call, that woman Deborah that called in, saying, "Oh, I've been calling you, and you never answer the phone." She's full of shit. I don't know who she is. I never spoke to a Deborah. I never gave her my phone number. She's lying. Okay, flat out lying. But she was the first person whose call was accepted to speak to me. So maybe it was planned. Maybe it was all planned. That this Deborah called to discredit me by saying, "Oh, well, I call you, but you don't answer the phone." Deborah, if you're listening to this, you never called me. Never gave you my phone number. Don't know who you are. And frankly, I don't give a crap. Okay? You're a liar. And maybe you're one of those Freemason witches. Are you like part of a coven or something? Is that what the little coven group? At least that's what was suggested to me, that you, like, the people that hang out there are a group, a little coven witches. You perform that bitchcraft? Okay, well, anyway, maybe you are, maybe you're not. This is for educational purposes only. I have no idea. I'm just putting it out there. It's quite a possibility. So, guided by their handlers, multiple prominent informants may work in unison to jacket or otherwise discredit targets who the security forces believe are a hazard to the system. Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you for a fact that, and this is true, when Linda Costanza was alive, I would speak to her sometimes here in Kentucky, and there was one time she told me to call her, and I called her, and she says, "Oh, I'm on the phone with Midge. I'm going to have to hang up with her or whatever." So she thought that she placed me on hold, but she didn't. And I heard all the bullshit that that woman, not Linda, that Midge was saying to Linda about me. It was not nice. I've never had a conversation with Midge for her to be slandering me on a phone call to Linda Costanza. But evidently, Midge didn't like the fact that I had a relationship with Linda. She didn't like that. So anyway, that's what these perpetrators do. And I still have no relationship with Midge. That's not her real name, by the way. You know, I like to have conversation with people with their real name. Not a fake Elias or whatever, unless you're some very famous, published person and you've got a pen name. They're all frauds. That's the way I look at it. It's fraudulent, okay? So, yes, so jacketing was often used during COINTELPRO, and it involves the use of informants within an organization to discredit certain effective individuals. And that happened to me several times. In fact, Ella Fraud did that to me. There was a caller that called in, was asking, like, why are so many kids, you know, they're so overly medicated, and why are they acting out all these things? So I offered not only a personal opinion, but a professional opinion based on the fact that I studied this for years. Well, Ella, she thought that she knew better. She's got no experience, no nothing. She put me down, and then she had the audacity to say on a recorded line, "Well, what do you know? Are you a parent?" Now, she knows damn well that I'm a parent, but she really is not a parent. She is a foster parent who got paid to take care of children. Nobody paid me to take care of my daughter, not even my ex-husband, not even child support, right? So, no, I am a real parent. I'm a real mother. I actually nursed my daughter. You know, all those things that mothers do with their real children. But yeah, she said that on a recorded line, and then they deleted and never aired that segment because it was so horrendous. She actually hung up on the call, and people were contacting me privately and saying, "What just happened?" She ended the call, didn't say goodbye to anybody. Yeah, that's what happens when you upstage someone with information that they don't have. Okay, that's what happens when you've got an intelligent person versus an unintelligent person. They're trying to defend a position and they can't, so they just hang up the phone. Okay, that's exactly what happened. If I go back in my records, I could find the exact date. But anyway, all of those conference calls are wiped from the internet, so you wouldn't be able to even find it if you wanted to. We can only conclude that in the last 20 years, they have perfected this tactic. And if you're raising awareness, then discrediting attempts will be a standard practice. And that's what's happening to me. They're trying to discredit me. Now they're saying that I'm some agent. You're kidding me? Yeah, how about I call the FBI and place a phone call to them and on the recorded live? Would you like for me to do that? See what happens? Okay. But anyway, if you're raising awareness, then discrediting attempts will be a standard practice. It appears to be critical that they isolate you from group members who may be influenced by you in a positive way, similar to the East German informants. They may be installed and built up to degrees of respectability by providing useful information to the group and engaging in other activities which genuinely expose this. Although this may seem like a contradiction, they know some people would have eventually found the information anyway. So this trade-off is worth appearing genuine and gaining trust, which may be exploited at a later date. It may also create fear and uncertainty within some targets, causing them to doubt their own judgment. Finally, this may further traumatize someone when they learn that a very well respected aspect of a group or environment movement is being used in this way. So yes, that's exactly how I felt when I found out about what these groups were doing to people, including myself, including Kim Straub, who's no longer with us, including Helena Chorba. In my opinion, in order for a decent person to be attacking a targeted individual, especially when he or she has an idea what they're going through, they would have to have been blackmailed, terrorized, or beaten into becoming informants. If you choose to participate in one of those movements or support groups, you may want to limit your exposure to certain people. And that's exactly what I do. I do not get on those calls anymore. They're heavily infiltrated. If I ever get on, if somebody announces they've got like some great person they're interviewing, I may or may not listen in the background, but you know what? They're mostly recorded, so I'll wait for them to be published on the internet, and I'll listen at my leisure. So anyway, this is my little diatribe on the hidden evil, financial elites' covert war against the civilian population by Mark M. Rich. And it is his Tactics Part 2 on support groups. And his opinion is that the major support groups are used by the security forces for discrediting, disinformation, and disorganizing. The people who oversee this worldwide program have infiltrated these groups or even created some in order to disrupt progress. And I agree 150%. So anyway, I look forward to your questions and comments down below. Please remember to not leave one word in the comment section. YouTube holds it for me to review, and then I have to give it a little check mark. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel inclined to do so. Share if you feel inclined to do so. Remember to hit the notifications bell and welcome newcomers. My name is Lorraine. I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, in a home I lived in for 30 years as original owner. I became targeted there by a group of feral cat cartel psychopaths, the Manalapan, New Jersey Police Department, attorneys during my divorce, who pretty much stole more than $54,000, and I still wasn't divorced after 3 years. Yes. So that's my story in a nutshell, I moved to remote rural Kentucky, and the people here are disgusting, evil, satanic. They perform bitchcraft all over my property every night. They're destroying it. I've got a psychopath loser that lives up the block that drips oil all in front of my house, throws trash in front of it, does wheelies in my driveway, noise campaign, throw IEDs on my property, explosives, firecrackers. These are sick people. They kill my cats, experiment on them, burn Illuminati, all-seeing eyes in the side of my buildings, tear things, bleach my clothing with poisons, chemical poisons. The list is endless. But yeah, I'm an agent. Sarcasm, sarcasm. My name is Lorraine. Alternative Homesteading. Please hit the thumbs up. Feel free to share. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video.